What's up, biatch? Bing! 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 Bing, bing. Alright. Hello. Hello there. Hello, hello. Oh no, where's my window? I've been there. That's weird. Why did it do that? What's it doing? Okay. I'll fix it. No problem. So stupid. It's so stupid, really. Unbelievable. Like, the window has to be open on my screen for the OBS to see it. Like, it's there, bro. It's there. What does it matter if it's minimized or not? Is that stupid, or is it me? Why would it matter? Of course we want to hear it. Think I'm here to play chess or something like that? Come on. I'm just waking up, having my coffee. Oh, Clarissa the Claret. Think for yourself. Don't be a sheep. Clarissa? Who is Clarissa? I don't know. Clarissa Yip. Alright, anyway. I think it's really stupid that OBS doesn't show my window capture if it's minimized. That shouldn't matter, bro. If I said that window, then I said that window. Just because it's minimized? That's stupid. Alright, probably some setting I can change. Anyway. Hosted a live stream. Alright, let's go. We're taking 5+5 challenges, listening to stories. 42 is here. Do you guys know each other? Arsenal fan? 42 Arsenal fan. Can't think much more these days. Have glasses now. Yeah, Arsenal likes my glasses. But now that I have a bigger monitor, you know, the glasses were more, like, I don't know, necessary when I had the notebook monitor. Now with the bigger monitor, it's like, really don't need it, you know, it's like big in my face. So Genius, who is unfathomably more intelligent, basically like an alien or something, than normal people, he speaks about solutions to world problems. But they cannot understand his vocabulary consisting of multisyllabic words and the concept of following logical arguments. They treat him like a moron or disabled. He decides to give himself a lobotomy to ease his suffering. He still, unfortunately, ends up more intelligent. But they suddenly treat him like a genius. I can see that. Lobotomy, you're bringing me back to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Great movie, by the way. That would be a good one. I was thinking of what movies to watch with my teenage children. You know, movies that like classic movies. That's a good one. You haven't seen it? Oh my god. You know what's great about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Not just that it's a great movie, but you know, it's amazing how successful many of those actors went on to become. Think about the cast of that movie; it's unbelievable. The actors in that movie are you know, all of them are famous almost. All right, or somewhat famous. So what's doing? We got 2 hours, guys. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm on time. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Well, man, that's like the longest commercial ever on my YouTube channel. What's that about? How am I gonna? I have to press skip. Skip. Dude, why is it still showing starting soon? Skip. First sign of dementia. Alright, well, I can play like a warm-up puzzle or something. Guys, 5+5 casual. Ooh, ops color bishops. This looks easy peasy, but this guy's queening with what? With check? That's a white pawn. Maybe some sort of e6, king c6, d5 stuff. The question is, do we have to play a3 first? We're going to need to play f4 at some point. So f4, pawn takes pawn. This looks a little tricky. I guess it's a3 first. a3 first, bishop takes. f4 takes, e3. That doesn't make sense. Shit, 42, we got a challenge. How do I do this, dude? Are you serious? I got two passers, but the bishop can cover them both. f4 takes. Oh my god. f4 takes, king takes d4. No, then you'd have time to take on a4. No. Does that matter? Maybe not. So I'm thinking f4 takes, king takes d4. f4 takes, king takes d4. King takes a4, e3. Are we winning there? Probably. I don't have a better guess. Damn. God damn it, Jerry. I got another one wrong. I thought we had time to do this. The problem is, I guess, like, we have to take on d4, and then we might still have to play king d3. Stop White from playing bishop d2. Which is another tempo, like, we can't afford to spend. So I didn't see the solution. It has to be a pawn push, but maybe not. Maybe there's some secret move or something. Bishop d7 check. I don't know. Bishop d7 check? You think? Yeah. Got to analyze these things thoroughly. Time control. I had the right idea, but I was supposed to play bishop d7 check first. That secures the pawn. So now I can take here. The right idea, but I have to play bishop d7 check first. Damn. I didn't see it at all. Alright. Anyway, 4t2. 5+5. Zen chess. Here is like 42. Okay. 5+5. Casual. Causal. Causal. I've been playing a lot of b6 lately, but let's do it anyway. This is my go-to. We can't have just one defense to d4, and it certainly can't be the Queen's Indian accelerated. Nevertheless, I'm taking the chance I get to practice this. I don't play a lot, and so when I do play, I like to practice thing I'm like working on. All right, knight f3, fine. And now you have g3 or knight c3 are your best options. And at this point, black can transfer back to the queen's Indian. But yesterday I played a game with d5, which is a little bit, in my opinion, weird because you're playing like a sort of, yeah, it's not that correct here to play d5. White hasn't made any concessions like queen c2 or f3 or something weird. I know, so this is what I've been doing. It's a little risky. It has its issues, but it's the best way for black to play for win. Now that move I haven't studied, although my gut instinct was that bishop g5 doesn't have a lot of bite. It's a move, you know, it's fine. It just doesn't have like tons of venom, you know, it's like a sort of solid move, I would assume. Alright. Queen d2. You might need that square for your knight later. That's what I'm always thinking when I'm white in these sort of things. Like I never put my queen on d2 in the 42. You might need that 2 square. No bishop h6, and you're going to regret not having that fallback square for your knight. Now, don't have a lot of options here. I could castle, or castling allows bishop takes f6. I'd have to take back with a pawn, so I think the normal thing to do is d6. It's a king's Indian. It's a double fianchetto king's Indian. Okay, yes. Bishop takes f3. You know what's weird? Friday's streams, Acerbate's never here, which always feels like, you know, your right arm is missing. So you stop me from controlling e4. Maybe the importance of passing a move in chess openings. Passing is usually associated with kidney stones and bowel movements. Passing a move. I guess it's a UK thing. I'll take a pass. I haven't practiced my English accent in a while. Oh, I can't do it. It's embarrassing. I can't do any kind of accents. I'll pass. Pass. No. Alright. Yeah, bishop d3 is annoying. You took away knight e4 as an option, but you might regret getting your bishop and knight forked later. Typical London player. He has Londonitis. Make sure you put your bishop and your knight, you know, on those squares so you get forked with e4. I have like fluid in my ear. Why? It's not like I went swimming or I had a shower in the last 2 days or something. Oh no, my God. Holy crap. Man, psychopath. Alright. That's the way you want to be about it. Damn, dude. You gotta watch the Bobby Fischer thing with the Petrosian sort of king's Indian. Anytime you try to play queen e8 to break the pin here with the bishop on h4, you always fall victim to some sort of knight b5, knight c7, or once Fischer famously allowed that in a game. I wonder if we approach the opening the wrong way. We look for objectively best moves. The opponent is an idiot. Well, I was thinking, you know, maybe the best approach is just do nothing. Wait for them to make mistakes. That's kind of a watered-down explanation of what Magnus Carlsen does. Self-correcting queen position. Yeah, no, I mean, there's more than one approach, Arsenal, and my approach, trying to play the best move all the time, has been criticized. Has been criticized by some strong players. It's certainly like not necessarily a practical approach. The faster time controls get, the worse it is, I think. Maybe best for correspondence chess. Maybe I should try correspondence chess. The computer could help me avoid those nasty blunders. No, it's not just me. We all have to try to play the best move to some extent, right? I mean, some of us don't sign into that at all, but we're gonna see a rapid. All right, he played e4. The other option obviously would be to put a piece on e4. An uninvited guest. This changes everything. This e4 structure is generally good for black. The emphasis on generally. When you have this symmetrical with open file, the hole here should be favorable for black. Again, generally speaking. I only speak generally. No, yeah, he's fast, man. Oh, it's raining again. There's a surprise. Not wake yet. So what do I do? B5. One of many options for black. It's good to have options. My original thought was knight c5, and then I realized, like, I don't particularly want this light square bishop, and if I go to e6, my e5 pawn is hanging, so that probably wasn't a problem. And the bottom line is that I probably should have played knight c5, but this is interesting. Okay. A fatal mistake. No. I mean, generally speaking, I wouldn't want to have an open A file against my king on b1. What could possibly go wrong? It's a Sicilian now. Wow. The King's Indian turned into some kind of weird Sicilian. What's the chances of that? Knight c5. Knight takes b5. Pawn takes b5. Queen takes c5. My other knight is sort of stupid. You know, the good thing about 42 is that he doesn't calculate. So I can use that to my advantage. If you're playing an opponent who doesn't calculate, you can kind of bluff them, you know. Well, not kind of bluff them, I mean, patently bluff them. Knowing that he doesn't calculate gives me a big advantage. I can play variations I know don't work, because he's not going to bother to check it. Right? This is kind of a weird move. I think the 42 and Asterbate are kind of like soul brothers from different continents. They both play super fast, have somewhat distinctive talents, are very sort of predictable in their approach. But 42 is a little more, I don't know, rational or consistent. Alright, man, I get it. You got the London system fetish going on there. Before the middle game, the chess gods placed the queen on e5. The time. The time. This is a good move, man. H4. Yeah, he's gonna... Yes, rook a4 is a dumb move by me. Really dumb move by me. I couldn't find a good solution. Alright. Just want to play fast. See, there I go. Like, trying to use my time to play perfect moves again. Dragonfly. Ha. Fetish, he said fetish. Well, you lost the G file, but you gained a friend. You lost the G file, but you gained the F file. The F5 square. A lot of good it's going to do you. Oh no. Oh no. Now F7's protected. I'm defending and attacking at the same time. Welcome, Dragonfly Hunter. Taha TMB has followed. Ooh, why do I hate the London so much? This wasn't a London, but it could have been. Based on White's focus on like attacking G6. And opposite side castling. Whoever taught people to castle queenside in a London? I'd like to smack that person. One of those... Yeah, it's like Caro Khan. Castling queenside. In the Caro Khan. At this point, it looks like 42 is running out of ideas. Well, we're just going to have to go for it here. Oh, shit. Take on b4, you have to. I mean, seriously, you have to take on b4 at this point. Because I don't have mate on a1. What else would he do? Oh, didn't let me get it. He did a good job surviving. Remember, there's a 5-second increment. I had a beautiful mate with rook a1, bishop a2 mate there, by the way. Just wanted to get that in. But he ruined my fun. Because of course he did. There are some problems with the king, the white king, having limited pawn cover at this point. There's a slight limited pawn cover, somewhat reduced pawn cover. Notice the black pawn cover, all still there, because we love our king and make sure that he always is protected. I don't have mate on a1. Yeah, it's mate on a2. That was a trick. Yeah, sometimes you can talk 42 into playing the move you want him to play. I thought if I said I don't have mate on a1, he'll realize, oh yeah, he's telling the truth. Alright, Zen Chess, Butcher of Truth. Speaking of truth, Giachi Oh no, Arsenal fan. Arsenal fan joined the queue. QAnon. What are we going to do with Zen chess? What are you playing now? Not that. Knight c3? I figure why not play the Hungarian defense? How bad can it be? No one bothers to study like how to play the Hungarian defense with white, do they? No, he knows. Okay, a4 I think is supposed to be the main line. I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. I think we saw a3 somewhere recently. Fine, whatever. Yeah, so what? So what am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do about it? Yeah, that is kind of annoying. a5 not particularly impressive. Wait, the Philidor? This is a Philidor? The Breyer variation. When in doubt, this is probably not great. I'm going to guess. Wow, I'm glad you did that. Because I was a little more concerned about f4 actually. This is now a normal looking kind of Philidor, but the other way was even more concerning for me. The ambition. Well, yeah, castling long should be carefully documented. Does the opponent have a powerful bishop on the long diagonal? That's the question, but is that diagonal closed with the pawn on e5? Yeah, maybe then castling queenside is okay. You don't castle queenside in the Benoni. Rule number 1 of Benoni Club. For either side, actually. Yeah, Arsenal, it's good to have you back. I really should do 2 streams a week in the morning. I just don't know how to. Schedule it. I was thinking about it. Wednesday was always bad. Always, I never had any viewers on Wednesday for some reason. If I tried to do, when I say morning, I mean like midday. For most people, what they call mid-afternoon or midday is like morning for me. But anyway, daytime versus evening. You know, daytime streams. I don't know. Monday, I'm so tired, and like Wednesday, I just never had any viewers. Zen chess is doing nothing well. So we do the standard kind of stuff, like takes. And I have no qualifications to play the Philidor. I have no Philidor. Philbilly. I'm not a Philbilly. Did I miss knight takes c4 or something? Takes. Then what? Knight f5. Oh, that's your move. Sorry. Yeah, I'm having PTSD. Watching my ex-teammate play the Philidor was kind of harrowing. Feels like an old Indian. In the King's Indian, like knight b5 would be devastating. I used to love to do that sort of sacrifice, but here my bishop's on e7. So one of those double knight sacrifices doesn't work. Oh, queen f3, that looks very standard-ish. He's a Philidor expert. Filbert. It's a Filbert roll. Rook e8. Knight f5. Yeah, this is why I don't play the Philidor. It was a Hungarian defense, but I made it a Philidor. That was dumb. The Hungarian defense isn't as bad as the Philidor, probably. Passive with no real active counterplay. I talked about this yesterday. Like, you should not play the Philidor if you're under 1800, under any circumstances. There was some game someone submitted and their opponent played the Philidor, like a 1600, and they got slaughtered. And it's like, yeah, that's what I said yesterday. Unfortunately, bishop f8 allows knight h6 check, and my position is pretty shaky. Let's see, bishop f8, knight h6 check, g takes h, queen takes f6. How bad is it? You know, my structure's shattered. The important stuff is protected, but still, you know. My other option is taking. We could even, you could even play g4. No, it can't. Bishop f8, knight h6 check takes. Queen takes f6, bishop g7. The structure's really wasted. But, maybe it's not that bad. Everything's protected. The important stuff's protected. And e4 is loose. Here's my judgment. Maybe it's not that bad. I'm attacking e4. I would get a killer bishop on the long diagonal, at the cost of shredding my own king side. The bishop on g7 is extremely strong. He didn't do it. Instead, playing bishop d4. It's so coordinated. It didn't do it. Now the other square, the e5 square. Bishop d4 is a good move, but the knight h6 was concrete. I don't know though. As I said, he gets a good structure, but a bishop on g7 would become pretty strong. I don't know if that would compensate for my broken pawn structure. Alright guys, I'm going to play as many people as I can up until 2:45. It's 1 o'clock now. I have an hour and 40 minutes. So, Butcher of Truth, Arsenal fan, Gia Young Samurai, and Recoil Ignite. Wow. Unusual Zen chess tanking here. It's a nice light square bishop you've got there on a2. f4, g6. Go rid my mind. One, two, three, four. It's a King's Indian. Well, at least I don't have any bad bishops. We have good knights and good bishops. You have good bishops and good knights. Nobody has any bad pieces. I think you could have had the queen covering f7. Right. Play on the g file. So what's my plan here? Wow. His bishop on a2 has seen better days. Sort of scammed him. I could sacrifice a piece or something. I don't know. He's a scammer. And my knight is trapped. That's annoying. That is mildly annoying. Alright. I get it. I get it, that's fine. Whatever. I get it, but I don't get it. Eventually, something's gonna happen. Like that. It's really weird, man. I swear to God, I thought I was a piece down when he took on f6. I thought you just took one of my pieces, and then I looked at the board and I had to start counting the pieces to realize I didn't just drop a piece. So that's weird. Do you know where your pieces are? It's a good thing f6 wasn't a piece. Too early in the morning for Zen chess. Late at night. You counted your pieces lately. Typical slimy Philidor. Playing on out of momentum. What happened there? Don't tell me this is a good game by me. There's no way. I never play. I mean, it wasn't really a Philidor. It was a Hungarian defense. Turn Philidor. You were better. Even as late as move 25. Of course, at that point we had gotten into bad time pressure. Looks like the game was reasonable. Like, not a bad game until mutual time pressure. Queen f5, you're better by +1. You got the better of the opening. So bishop f8, it looks like, yeah, you should have done that h6 check. And the moral of the story is that I should take right away. I really need to take right away. I need a reason not to take. This is way better. Huh. This is a funny line. Queen takes f5, bishop d8. Oh my god, that happened in a game. How insane is that? This position arose in a game in 2023. After 15 moves. Alright, let's go on. Butcher of Death. The Butcher of Death. I gotta play e6. I don't know who I played what against, you know. We're gonna go back to our roots here. I played a Bogo yesterday. A Gobo. Play the Gobo. He has a follower. GL2476. When I go with my minions to the stream. Good luck, Butcher. Wow. Thanks, man. Boucher. Turkey Farm. I was just studying this weird idea that if knight on bd2, bishop e7 is best according to the oracle. Oh my god. Immediately retreating unprovoked. Yesterday I had a game. Yesterday I had a game with knight on bd2. Knight on bd2 castles. a3 bishop e7. Immediately retreating unprovoked. That's, you're gonna have to have your oracle. I think you should take your oracle in, you know, to the showroom to have it tuned or something. A3 right away. That is a move I've played myself many times, actually. Right. Yep. So this is a line. A3's never been regarded as really like a dangerous variation, let's say. I don't know theory here. I never really deeply studied the c5 or anything for that matter. So I was thinking, you know, I can play e5 here, like, immediately. Take, trade queens, knight takes e5. But maybe my compensation is not enough. Well, anyway, there's no rush. There shouldn't be a rush here with playing... I don't know if knight c6 is a mistake. There shouldn't be a rush with e5. Black wants to play for control of the dark squares because you have white square friends. And Astrobate should know that e8. My friend Zako Linčić used to play the c5 Bogo, and he was really good with it. Other people, other strong positional players I've known over the years. Probably one of Black's best. Now, I gotta watch this avalanche thing. Cavalanche. Cattle Ranch. When I played white in this line, I tried to avoid putting my pawns on the light squares, so I just played like e3. Karpov played like that. It's not very ambitious, but I managed to beat the European, what's he, like, president of the European Chess Association or something? This Aloysius from Slovenia, Yankovic. I beat that guy in a BOGO. The very quiet sort of A3 and then like E3. If you play E3, your pawns aren't on light squares and you don't end up with a bad bishop. Aloysius. Alioup. Yeah, A5. It's all good until someone gets in a C5 break and your whole position falls apart. I've had that happen before. Once I played Isha Kaolanche. I've been on both sides of C5 avalanches. Getting death threats, yeah. He's on the run. I'd be on the run from you, man. Well, I would imagine, yeah, this type of person has more than one problem, typically. Unsurprisingly, those nasty troublemakers. There's always like the worst behaved people at the poker club that I have like personality conflicts with. They seem to end up in jail. It's really weird. You know, I don't know what's up with that. And what happened to that guy that was like, you know, really rude and like aggressive with me? Oh, he's in jail. Oh yeah. It's like, how many times has that happened? Oh, I haven't seen that guy in a while. Oh, he's in jail. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, well, that's surprising, right? Multiple times that's occurred in my own practice. Why do they always end up in jail? Weird. Alright, let's just do rook b8. This is kind of pathetic, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, he sold his... There was this one guy who was really menacing. And next thing you know, he's in jail because he sold the same apartment like 5 times to 5 different people. How does that work? He just like got their deposits and sold like the same apartment to 5 different people and just kept all their money. But it's like, normally, you know, you're not handing down that deposit, I mean, without, like, I don't understand how you'd be able to pull that off. Illegal or not, how would you get five different people to buy the same apartment? That takes some serious skill. Yeah, timeshare. I had a crazy idea for a new chess variant. Where, this sounds kind of stupid, but what do you think? You'd have to, like, get double checkmate in order to win. Like, mate is not enough. It has to be double check. So you have to check them twice. So even if they're mated, you have to, like, check them again while they're mated. Crazy, huh? Crazy idea. So which way do I play this? Do I take or do I play b6? You like it? Oh, someone likes it. I'm just not sure how it will logistically work like after you get the first checkmate, I guess technically if you're checkmated, you're not allowed to move. Now would it work like you'd have to give like double checkmate in order to win the game? So what happens when you just get like normal checkmate? They just keep playing like nothing happened. That was kind of what I envisioned. Like the game would just continue. The game would just continue until you check them a second time. It's like, the king has 2 health and checkmate just takes away 1 of his health. This character is pretty freaking annoying. Just keeps fighting. 3 check. Like a double check. Oh. You have to finish on a double, right? Like in darts. Yeah, like the game doesn't end unless you get double check. Triple check I've never heard of. Is that possible? If triple check is possible, I'd be very surprised. You'd think I would have heard about it. It's like a triple play in baseball or something. So basically the game would continue until the mated king is like checked again. Like overkill. It's like a zombie apocalypse where, it's not enough to like kill the zombie, you have to like explode his head. I've always been afraid to start playing those variants because I might actually like them, and then, already I don't have enough time to focus on normal chess. We're piling up. We got control. Butcher of Truth has a dice chess. That's cool. The dice chess. I haven't played that either. Alright, how do we finish him off? A3, rook takes. That's not going to cut it. You need an F5 break. This doesn't do anything. Spoiler alert. This doesn't do anything. We're gonna need... I was afraid of that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I was a little hesitant to play that move for that reason. That sucks. So White's hanging on. The Butcher of Defense is more like it. He's a fence butcher. He's a fence. Oh my God, man. Have you no decency? Yeah, but eventually, I mean... What are you threatening? The F5 break. A3, rook takes. Oh, I have that. Yeah, really? Still not convinced here. Unfortunately, queen b3 allowed rook a3, and I missed queen takes a3. That wouldn't have worked anyway. Now, for my next trick, will you stop defending so well? Whoa. What am I doing? Butcher of Truth is good. He's making fairly sensible moves. Queen takes. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. You can't do that. No. We finally scammed him. Alright. Yeah, that was a little bit touch and go. I don't know. We sort of slimed our way to win there. L Streets. Not a convincing win, you know. White had definite chances throughout the game there. A lot of challenges like last week. I should do this more often because clearly there's a lot of people want to play. Although Friday's the best day. I can only stay for another hour, guys. A little over an hour. So I won't be able to get to all the challenges due to the long time control. But I like to play Sloth Blitz. You know, I don't want to play like 3+2 or something. So Arsenal fans up. Up! Arsenal fan is here! Look out! 505 games we played, dude. We over the 500 point. And you took a huge time off. And you're still over 500. You got this. You're not going to play the... Alright, no marshals. We don't like the marshal. Can I play like knight c3? It's like a Maurice Ashley attack or something. What is this transposed to, a Vienna? I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it's still a Roy Lopez. Rye Lopez. I like it when people say Rye Lopez. No, you're sacking a pawn here? Can they do that? That's a thing? Oh my god, he's sacking a pawn anyway. Don't tell me this is a thing. You don't tell me this is a thing. This is not a real thing. Magnus Carlsen, don't do that. I don't believe you. You lost the pawn. This is not an intentional gambit. Even so, I'm not sure, you know, how I should handle it. Don't want to be overconfident here. I mean, black can play d5 and get some light square play. Looks like a Sicilian where your e-pawn is missing. Like a closed Sicilian where you have no e-pawn. Where'd your e-pawn go? Alright, I'm just going to retreat my knight. Not going to play f4 or something crazy. That's dangerous. Someone be my hero. I'm a hero. Yeah, what are my other options there? f4? I'm not playing that. I think when you win a pawn, you should take your pawn, consolidate. You know, stop playing like an idiot. Or don't start playing like an idiot. Don't start with me. Knight h4, knight e4, knight d4. Knight d4 looks interesting. Might just be a mistake. That's the kind of move that might very well be a mistake. Rook e1. I'm expecting like c5. So if he plays d5, I play e5, and then we go d4, and we lock it down. It was tempting here to play like knight d4 and try to plunk my knight on f5, but if I do that, there was something about that I didn't like. Not developing, not improving my position holistically. Yeah. This is reasonable, but I'm going to kill his bishop on b7. Or attempt to. You know. Black will be basically playing a open Roy Lopez with no e-pawn. If he gets in d4, he might have play. You know, the whole point is he has a light square bishop. I don't have a light square bishop. But how good is his light square bishop? I mean, is he going to do like bishop c8 now? He might have to seriously consider it. Take. Yeah, this is like yesterday against Morales. I mean, not against Morales. Yesterday, Morales shared a game where I was suggesting bishop e3. And, yeah, this is what we're going to do. How about we trade the dark square bishops, and then I'll have two good knights, and you'll have the blocked in bishop, and everyone lived happily ever after, except for Arsenal fan. The center. c5 played. The more conservative way to play would have been, like I said, you know, he could submerge his bishop back to c8, try to resurface on the other side. Reduce and reuse. You are winning. No spoilers. Yeah, winning is a relative term, unfortunately. Now we're going to see knight d4. Winning is so subjective, right? What does that mean, like, exactly? You're better. Winning is like the game's over and you won. The fat lady's saying. Got to be very careful about this use of words. I was winning. How many times have you heard people say that, right? How many times, if you had like $1 for every chess player you ever heard say, I was winning. Well, what good is it if you were winning and you don't win, you know? Right? Zero value. I was winning. No, I just wanted to make a point about that. People throw that phrase around a lot. But the problem is, it's really kind of tough to even interpret what exactly it means. You know, what does it mean to be winning? Like literally +5, +10, +1, plus 1.5. The game is over. Better. Alright, Arsenal fan is clearly motivated to put up a fight. I think against Arsenal fan, you want to try to keep it clear and solid. See a clear path to mate. Take, knight d4. Queen takes c5, bishop takes h6. Whoa. Alright. Queen takes c5, he has a lot of problems. Yeah, right. I like this. You're up a pawn. Right. That's the important thing. Alright, now what do? We jam that pawn through. If we do that, it becomes a little bit hard to break through. I could sack a piece here. Bit fancy. Bishop h6 is a bit fancy for my taste. Not really happening just yet. But it could. Like, imagine if he doubles here. Sexes rook. Comes down. Arsenal fans looking for the light square magic in this position. Mouse magic. That was the stuff that we used to ward off mice in the house. Little pouches of like natural mouse magic. Mouse, anti-mouse, natural anti-mouse stuff. Gonna need more than mouse magic here. We got him locked down. But breaking through is another story, huh? I'm doing nothing. I was tempted to play g4, but then I caught myself. Ooh. Alright, he played f5. That's very committal. f5, really asking for it. Wow. Queen f4. Give me that pawn. Give me another pawn. Gimme. Frank Thomas died of Perubu. I was telling Asterbay, he practically invented like post-punk before punk. I mean, it's ridiculous, but The guy was only 71. I thought he was older. Just an iconic indie rocker, like so influential. No one even knows who they are, except unless you're a musician. I'm so sad. Damn it. Rook takes. Arsenal's gonna come up with a cheapo. Just give him time. He's gonna come up with some kind of tactic. He's like a piece down, effectively. He's still gonna come up with a tactic. Look at that. G5 in the house. Unbelievable. He actually has G5. He's in full swindle mode. That's it. Oh, he had bishop d6. I have to sack the exchange, probably. Yikes. E7. Damn it, Arsenal fan. He's defending like a genius. He's a mad genius. This doesn't work. What am I doing? I'm screwing this up. What do you think I'm doing? What? Check. Check-a-lotopus. Pawn takes. Can't believe I screwed this up this badly. Though we're still probably winning. It's not that easy. You got to give him credit for a huge fight. It's like World Senior. Feels like a World Senior game. That the epic game I had at the World Senior, where it took me like a million hours to take the Mongolian guy or the Kazakh guy out. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was the same pawn too. It was a D6 pawn. Yeah. Oof. He's almost flagging me. What? What are you doing over there? Active counterplay? Nah. None of that now. None of that active counterplay stuff. Jesus, with this cheapos. You really got to give him credit, man. Incredible. The relentless pursuit of cheapos. It's not all pure cheapos. You know. Eventually, something good will happen. Anyway, guys, it was nice knowing you, you know. I'll have to leave. After this 30-minute, 5-minute game, I'm going to have to leave pretty soon. Alright. Little by little, we're chipping away at him. He has every reason to keep fighting. I'm not feeling like my past pawn lived up to its real potential here. My God, dude. He was dead 100 times, but I didn't put him away. But the thing that makes him really tough is his speed. He's managing to find moves to keep the game tough, but also making them quickly, which is not easy to do. He's always ahead on the clock, no matter what, dude, no matter how tough the going gets. I think he's really lost now. This past pawn is just too strong. Famous last words. Jesus Christ, bro. My God, this is like a 3-hour game. It's 5 plus 5. Reducey, you're not going to say that, right? Was winning? You're not really saying that. You're just kidding about that. That's 85 moves. 85 moves at 5 seconds per move. Damn, 86 moves. I'm sure it was a draw at some point. That's maybe like the longest 5+5 game I ever played. Yeah, it's probably a draw. There it was definitely a draw before. Arsenal, what a fight from a difficult position. So guys, I have we have more time. What's up, everybody? One of our longest 5-5 games in history. I kept waiting for him to die, and he kept not dying, and I kept making substand. Arsenal's game, an absolute, okay, he didn't get the draw, but he had the draw, and it goes to show, if you defend stubbornly enough, the other guy gets tired of trying to beat you. I mean, this is very typical situation. The more you put up resistance, the more the other guys like come on, resign already. You played D4 before. No? No, that was an E4? Which is it? D4 or E4? Should I challenge you to a slightly shorter time control? No. I don't think we're going to get that far anyway. You're unlikely to make it. But you never know. Be like Arsenal fan. Yeah, you can try. You never know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't want to discourage you from challenging. We might make it. People drop out. You can challenge me to 4+3 or something, or if you want. But I like to make it straight up. You weren't too arrogant to resign. I don't think it was appropriate to resign at any point, Arsenal fan. That wasn't a question. It was like you were just stubbornly defending. It wasn't that you were playing on in a dead lost position. I clearly still had work to do. And during the game, I was talking about the whole concept of winning. What does it mean to have a winning position? Exactly. This game's like the definition of, well, how do you define a winning position? Why, I'm up 2 pawns and ops color bishops and rooks. That's technical and not that easy to win. Upset me. Sack draw. I got your message, by the way. I'm thinking about how to help someone with you brought up an interesting point about improving your calculation, learning to calculate more. Not emailed, but you sent me a message on the chess I'm talking about, obviously. So Young Samurai, did you play E4 or D4 against me last time? Was it D4? No, it must have been E4. Because I played the Kraken last time, and it became a queen pawn like structure. This is a really well, I mean, I think it's a common issue, but mostly with people who play a lot online. Do you play over the board still? Because your game seems to me like, based on limited experience, you're very strong intuitively, which is something that feels like it's more online Blitz. But it's also possible for people to be like, they're completely different the way they play OTB and Blitz online. Maybe very different animals. This kid seems really underrated. And I made a point on my last simul that... Was it simul or tournament stream? Where he seemed like too good for his rating. I kind of give up on that whole concept. You're not that different. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you play good Blitz because your intuitive feel is good. Look, everybody's different. Not everybody is calculation based, like very calculation based. Some people like don't calculate much at all. Damn. Blake just doesn't move pawns. He was trained to not move pawns. Neither do I, but I'm pro. Semi-pro. You play too fast for the board. Well, you're a late starter. You play too fast. You play too fast online, too. So at least you're consistent about it, Arsenal fan. How does this work exactly? But I feel the same I felt like against this guy Tuesday. He's ridiculously solid. The moves just keep coming, The systematic moves just keep coming. I felt like I was playing a computer on Tuesday. But he missed some key moves and offered a draw in a clearly better position. They're missing a clear win. It wasn't a perfect game, but I was in Zugzwang after 17 moves, This player seems to have some kind of weakness tactically. You wouldn't know it in this game. There haven't been a lot of tactics. He plays like strategically extremely well and then just doesn't see tactics. He also is like professional at trading pieces, it looks like. But the solidity of White's play uncharacteristic for a player of this rating, I would say. It's even frightening. Like, what kind of player who's rated 1900 Blitz doesn't make a single weakening pawn move the whole game? It's a little creepy, dude. It's scary, like the way you play. for a 1900. I mean, I just don't understand how that's possible. You literally have to be at least like 2100 or something. His rapid rating is 2037, but his blitz is 1940. I mean, dude, how much more solid can you possibly play? Very computer-like. And don't, I might be wrong, but all I'm saying is stylistically it's weird, It's unusual for someone to play that computer-like. You just literally don't make any kind of pawn weaknesses. Like I'm playing someone's phone or something. Maybe he's human. Unfortunately, it's not as unusual as it used to be, I know. I can only comment on the stylistic to play, Seems to me if you're this good, he's also hoovering the freaking board, man. If you're this good, why would you be 1900? Wouldn't you, kill people in Blitz? I mean, I'm being very, very careful as an IM here. I'm sorry, but, I mean, this guy is a little bit too much, dude. I could just offer a draw and not play him anymore. It's like his style is so clinical. It's too clinical. You'd have to be 2300. Carlsonian. The Carlsonian Institute. I'm just going to offer this guy a draw and not play him anymore because it's too computer-like. You completely play like a computer. He doesn't want to draw. Alright. Whatever, dude. Obviously. There's nothing suspicious about that. Dude, I'm totally banning this guy. You have a chance to take an IM, a draw against an IM, but you won't take it because you're so self-confident that you're going to beat him with your computer-like play. Dude, you're absolutely done. That's so creepy and weird, man. Tell me this guy's on an engine. Clearly he's not using an engine in all of his games and all moves. Because if he did, he'd have a very, very high rating. But there's something strange about it. I have rook d4 winning on the spot. You played the whole game like an engine. You refuse a draw. And now you're losing to a one-move tactic. It doesn't add up, It just doesn't add up. Things that make you go, how could you play so well, be so overconfident, play like an engine, and then just drop a rook d4 tactic on the end? And you would play this out now with rook g4? Allowing back rank mate? Sorry, dude. This whole thing doesn't make sense. Your whole game doesn't make sense. And that's what I said on Tuesday. And I would continue to stand by what I said on Tuesday. You know, it's like the player is, I guess, something's not right there. Alright. Recoil Ignite. It's a new opponent. As long as you got... It was basically an equal position and he refused a draw against a player 500 points higher. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you be happy, like, to take a draw? You've been, like, trading pieces the whole game, like, kind of, like, fighting for a draw. You don't have to say you're sorry for playing the Cairo. It's a great opening. Except for the fact that it sucks. Nobody has to apologize for playing the Cairo Con. It is what it is. You know, while I can't really accuse the last player of necessarily being a computer straight up, there's something so weird about their style. You just can't put your finger on it, you know? Maybe it's like what you said, Arsenal fan. Your comment about Carlson talking about how people are taking cues from, like, engines or whatever in the way that they play. But still, you know, I get that maybe at, like, master level. But this guy's supposed to be 1900 in Blitz, and he's, like, outplaying me every game. Until he does something, like one really weird, horrific blunder, you know. If you can outplay me and get a clearly better position, then you should not be 1900. Period. End of story. Whether or not you screwed up and blunder, if you're good enough to outplay me, get a winning position in the first 20-30 moves of a game, and do it twice in a row, not a winning position, but a good position, there's no physical way you can be 1900. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I played really lamely here, guys. I tried to play Aliakin's Gambit, but he didn't take it. I've also been thinking about trying to play in a way that's more practical. Also, channeling Magnus Carlsen. Because I try to play perfect moves, and it ends up getting me in time pressure all the time. Yeah, the EF Caro-Kann just destroys chess, dude. Yeah. 1900s and people like me do. I don't blunder as much. Usually I'll blunder, in most cases it's like time pressure related when I do blunder. If I have enough time, I generally don't blunder. And I don't blunder because I'm like playing too fast, in serious games at least. Whereas amateur players tend to do that. You do that fairly frequently, you know, the overly fast kind of speedy play blunder. We can't really compare, you know, online chess to tournament chess. I offered a draw in the last game, A, because the game was taking forever, B, because the position was like equal, and C, because I was just tired of playing that guy, and he just ignored me and declined it. The typical player who's 500 points lower rated is going to be very happy to take that draw. Even if they think they may be like a tiny bit better, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I got a draw against an IM. But the guy wouldn't take it. He played and he lost instead. How do you lose OTB if you do blunder? Well, I'm saying my blunders are oftentimes time pressure related more than anything. At least of late. There's also been a tendency for me to be overconfident. I can start out being, not overconfident at all and become overconfident. See, another very sterile game by Black. Not as computer-like as the last guy. Yeah, but this guy's 2060. I mean, well, you got the same ratings as the last guy, actually. 1900 Blitz, 2060 Rapid. That's kind of standard, right? Standard ratings. Yeah, I mean, maybe I have to pay more attention to reaching the conclusion that people are changing the way they play chess. They're becoming like little mini computers. I think we see a lot of degeneration in endgames. Quite in keeping with the AI boom. What makes it really hard to tell who's cheating and who just plays like a computer. There's cheaters and people with computer-like styles now, and then you have to tell them apart. This is another player. I mean, not 1900 is solid. 2000 is solid, but we're gonna have to take him out in an endgame. Yeah, the Caro-Kann. He apologized for playing the Caro-Kann. Exclamation point. It's the first time for everything. That is a step in the right direction, though. Oh my god, I had knight c6. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that to present itself. The same exact thing happened the other day. Yesterday I was playing a Blitz game where I also missed knight c6 fork. It just appeared out of nowhere. We didn't expect Black to play b5. I totally didn't expect Black to play b5. And then he played it, and I just, didn't even, stop to think about the fact that he could be blundering in exchange. I'm not looking for tactics, mostly. I'm trying to follow a strategic plan here by queening my queenside pawn majority. And Black just totally overlooked, an obvious family fork, almost, on c6. Sporgasm. Firm believer? 50% of the user base? Jeez, no. I mean, okay. You exaggerate. I mean, I'm pretty level-headed. No, there was a funny quote. Yesterday, Obama is rumored to have said... Here's another one-move tactic. He's rumored to have said that... there's conspiracy going around that Donald Trump has a Russian birth certificate. It's a little joke, he's joking. But the whole birther thing. We got to insert our political commentary. I thought it was funny, though. Obama doesn't... he doesn't throw out a lot of quips. It was a funny little joke. But 50%, dude, now you're really getting carried away. I mean, sure, we can debate between... You have that. Oh my god. So he is Mr. Tactics. Wow. You had rook takes c4 at the end. Holy moly. Alright, this is going to be freaking close. Do I take the pawn or go behind door number 2? This should be a winning king and pawn endgame, no? I mean, it's close. Queen takes d5, though. I mean, do I take the clear pawn up? I guess I take the clear pawn up. I think that the king and pawn game is probably winning, though. After queen c8, king f8, queen f8, queen f8, king f8, king f1, king e7, king e2, king e6, king d3, f5, f3. At the end of the day, I'm going to have a passed b pawn against the passed d pawn. But we're cutting it really close there. You know? So... An old guy who's pessimistic about humanity. Absolutely. The only way to be pessimistic about humanity, that is. You can be a young guy who's pessimistic about humanity, too. Yeah, skepticism is healthy. That's why Arsenal fan is building a bunker in his basement. It's not to hide from that guy who threatened his life. Black resigned. Oh, he saw the tactic before I did. I have queen a8. Well, not that kind of bunker. Alright. Reduce and reuse. Guys, I can go up to almost 3 o'clock. But I have a lesson at 3, so I said 45, but we can go until 55. Alright. It's natural to be cynical about the future of humanity. Yeah, I guess I have to learn to accept the fact that people play like computers and then like they just, you know, blunder drawn king and pawning games in one move. You know, the problem is like you play like 60 moves and you don't know if it's a guy who's cheating or a normal 1900 who's just going to like blunder a drawn king and pawning game, and you have to wait until move like 58 or move 60 to find out, you know. It's like, oh man, am I really going to have to play 60 moves to find out if this is a computer or not? Like, seriously. That's the bummer. Because like 30% of the time, not 50, but like 30% of the time it'll turn out to be a computer, and you'll be like, man, I just wasted all my time playing that computer. And the other 70% of the time, the 1900 is going to like blunder in the king and pawning game, and you're still going to have a kind of empty feeling. Like, I just played, you know, 60 moves for a guy to like blow a drawn king and pawning game. Feels bad, man. But at least I got these stinking rating points, you know, to make me feel better. And then the bad news is if it's casual, it's even worse, right? Now I don't even have any rating points. So we've got time for a couple more games. I know Nefudov is here. Sporgasm. A lot of times I'll play offhand games and not realize I was playing a computer until it's over. And I'm like, oh, it used to be like, here on the stream I'll get paranoid relatively early in the game. But honestly, yeah, sometimes it's just like, wow. Damn, I wasn't sure I was playing a computer there. Then I look at the game afterwards with the engine and it's just like, damn, Here I was not even suspecting it was a computer. And it's only after the game that I really realized. This is basically a Grunfeld, a tempo down. You played C6 and C5. Reduce and reuse has the little bit higher reading than the last guy's. But the same breakdown where Blitz and Rapid is 200 points separated. I guess the reason why people have the low Blitz ratings is like the arena tournaments. Is that what it is? Are arena tournaments just really like... If you sit around and you just play like in the pool or whatever, then you might be higher rated. But people who play in like arena tournaments are berserking, and on this site, I don't know about other sites. At least they're honest. Blitz 2200s are a lot better than Rapid 2200s. Yeah, I mean there's been a rating deflation in the Rapid. I mean a rating, inflation in the Rapid for a while. I don't know if it changes, it fluctuates a little. I just see enormous inconsistency, I mean it's just ridiculous. Like some people who are 1900 are like masters, and others are like literal beginners. I mean, they can have literally the same rating and be like 800 points difference in strength. That's what I see. Bro just played c6, c5, take on d5, and then avoid the exchange of queens with queen d8. It's really strange. He didn't like the trade, and he didn't see a way to maintain the tension. Logical. Maybe d7? Nah, can't do that with an 85. So sometimes you can play bishop e6 with the queen on d5 in this type of structure. That happens in one line of the... you might be able to get away with that. Bishop e6. Because queen d5, bishop d5 is probably okay. And if I play c4, it changes the whole structure. I mean, it's not necessarily good for white. So if you're looking for a way to keep the tension with your queen on d5, you obviously consider like rook d8, but f7 gets weak. So I think bishop e6 looks reasonable there. Queen d8 feels too slow. When you want to increase your rating, you just stop playing arenas, of course. The other thing is, okay, like me, I mean, I don't play much rated games. If I were to play a rated game and, like, lose because of the, what's it called? The rating system. If I were to lose a game because I'm inactive, I would lose, like, 100 points. I think it discourages people from playing to some degree. Alright. The Glicko system. I think the Glicko system is fine, but it seems like it's kind of exaggerated. Like the configuration of it. Honestly, I get it. I think the whole system makes sense. But nobody should lose like 100 rating points for one game, like literally like 2% of their ELO rating. That's too much. You know, we need to change the percentage or something. I mean, I don't care if you haven't played in a year, bro. You shouldn't lose 100 points if you're 2,500 on one game. You know, it doesn't make sense. It could have been a mouse slip. One game doesn't have that much, shouldn't have that much, you know, statistical value. So in that respect, I kind of disagree with the Glico rating system here. In the sense, the ELO system is better. I like the idea of a time-based approach where, you know, decay is like changing and stuff, but I think that it's too exaggerated. The rating deviation or whatever. The other day on my Smurf account, I like forfeited a game, lost like 50 points because I hadn't played in like a month or something. I think it needs to be a little better fine-tuned. What proportion of your rating points, what's the maximum proportion of your rating points you should be able to lose in one game? I mean, I don't know. If I lose to a 1200, am I supposed to lose like 150 points or something, or what? If I haven't played in like a year and I lose to a 1200. Also, I don't think that forfeits where no one moves a piece should be counted as rated. I understand the argument that it might encourage people to like pick and choose their opponents and like forfeit games, but it causes rating, you know, it causes the rating system to be inaccurate. I get the like discouraging people from dropping out and stuff, but you don't want to have an inaccurate rating system just to police the people who like drop and stuff. In over-the-board chess, you have to actually physically move a piece for the game to be rated. And I think it should be the same in online chess. Why should it be different? In a FIDE rated tournament, if I don't touch the pieces and I forfeit, it's not counted as a rated game. Why would it be any different online? It makes zero sense. And all you're doing is like artificially making the ratings less accurate by jacking up some guy's rating for winning by forfeit. So you think in physical chess, if a player doesn't show and I've paid for a hotel room for a weekend, well, I understand your desire for like justice or something, but I'm not sure that, you know, then maybe they should institute some kind of, you know, financial penalty or something. But rating, you know, altering the rating system doesn't seem like the appropriate punishment. And, you know, you can institute a penalty of like, you know, 25 pound, you know, forfeit fee or something. That would make more sense to me, you know. But I don't really get how altering ratings is going to help. Ultimately, I thought that everybody wants the rating system to be accurate. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's a conspiracy. Here I was thinking they want accurate ratings. Dude, terrible move by me. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just totally drifting. lost most of my advantage. Compensation. There's a check. So I sacrifice the pawn, but I'll get one back. Yeah, I don't know about scrapping the rating system there. They wanted to have a rating system that was, you know what, more like the... Sorry, your ship sailed. Dude, this guy is just getting better and better all the time. I'm down a pawn. Pawns don't matter. People matter. People pawns. People pawns. You're people pawns. Is this really winning? It is. It is. Wow. So he was holding until the final blow. He has to give the pawn up. He's stingy and didn't want to give the pawn up. Yeah, you have to give me the A pawn. Come out with your hands up. Put your hands on top of the car. Alright. Yeah, he didn't want to give it up. Put your hands where you can see, where I can see them. Give me the A pawn and put down the A pawn. And we'll talk about this, okay? Rook b7 might have been mandatory. Yeah, it was an afterthought, right? I thought it was... Well, I never considered winning until that point. Really solid game by black. Uh-oh, Nefedov. We might have time for one more game, depending if Nefedov is here or not. Testosterone. Sander 999. Sporgasm. Nefedov seems to have left the building. We're going to give him a little bit of a... Uh-oh. Arsenal fan, I think that a financial penalties... No, Nefedov should lose his rating points. Yeah, I know, Sanders is 3-0, but he's last. Anyway. I think Nefedov should either pay a financial penalty or have his rating points. I think he loses ECF points for this. We're going to contact the ECF. Arsenal fan is going to contact the ECF and demand they funnel. they all right, there he is. Funnel some money to Arsenal's hotel fund. All right, he was taking his time. He was like prepping his opening repertoire. He must have been like doing last minute preparations. No way I'm going into the Schliemann. I have a terrible score with that. So what's this? I had one of these the other day against a random guy. What if Nefedov doesn't know what he's doing? He looks stunned. For some reason, my computer thinks I'm in Washington, D.C. It's like giving me weather updates. What's with that? Because I used to subscribe to the Washington Post. I don't know why it would come up with that. Random. He needs to buy the first round. Yeah, Arsenal, you can just buy points. You can buy a full point. It'll be like politics. We should make chess tournaments more like politics, where you can just buy points. Buy the first round for 500. You can enter with 2 full point buys. Literally, that's why they're called buys. Everybody knows that. Did you buy a used PC? No, why? Did I miss out on a joke? That's not what I'm talking about. No. My old notebook. No, not this one. No. It never did that. Microsoft being weird, probably. No, my old notebook thinks I'm in Washington, D.C. Alright, so F4. I'm a little worried about the dark squares with H4, G3 and all that. With that queen, on this diagonal here. Because I know that F4 is typically an option in these type of positions. So say like F4, knight C6, E5. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think we go with the standard policy here. This is what I played the other day. Not very exciting. Yeah, we've played 431 games against each other, and Arsenal fan I had 505. Yeah. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. It's a Scotch reversed, or Scotch 4 knights, in reverse disposition. With the extra move H3, which is useful. H3, honestly, if it's H3, it's for me. F4, bishop takes C3, B takes C, D6, or rook E8. Yeah, I don't like that. So I either need to stop the doubled pawns or just castle. I think castling. I don't mind the doubled pawns necessarily. How are we doing on time, guys? I got to go by the hour. So now, you could play bishop D7, but then rook E8, for example. Annoying. If I want to play F4, I kind of have to play it now. But Nefedov has a lot of Nimzo-like counterplay against the E4 pawn. But the bishop on E5 is a really good piece. Bishop D2, rook E8. Then what? What do I do? I don't know. I feel like we have to do it. Didn't even hesitate. He could have played the... And then queen E7. We have enough means of protecting Mr. E pawn. Queen f3, rook e1. You're threatening knight takes e4. e5, f5. I was a little worried about the c5 check in some lines. Nef Edov. I have a new idea. Very subtle. I want to connect my rooks. The Marazzi. Oh my God. Speaking of Queen c5 check, that's insane. Nefedov's insane. Fancy play syndrome. Yes. Nothing to worry about here. He sees everything. My God, man. You're putting king h2 in my mind, but I mean, is my king better on h2 or h1? Insert king on dark square. Now Nefedov has the crushing knight c3. We've been watching Rudolf Spielmann games lately, Arsenal fan. Mr. Slow's been submitting Rudolf Spielmann games on Thursdays for analysis stream. I don't know, Rudolf might like this position. I have a feeling, but, you know, he's not around to ask. I'm starting to feel kind of tingly all over. Those two bishops and the nice juicy E and F pawns. The cheapo with E5. It's a really nice outpost you have there on C3. Arsenal's F5. The F5 F6 is the most deadly theme in chess, probably. The single most important attacking theme in chess, one might say. So, if e5, bishop c6, if f5, he attacks my pawn on e4. Rudolf has other ideas. I'm not a materialist. I'm getting mated? Nefedov has 2 minutes. He's like a bullet player. Freaking Christ. Attacking potential. Yeah, I mean, this is our main enemy here. Queen f2. That can be negated. h6. Honestly, I missed that entirely. Kingside majority, 2 bishops. Rip Nefedov. What's the deal? I'm going to complete my development first. Also the e4 square. You have that? He has that? He has that. He missed it. He had knight de4. Knighty knight. Crossy Road. This is like a 2-lane superhighway. You don't want to get caught, you know, trying to cross over there. Interesting, interesting, interesting. You saw that. Watch that. Look at that. Nasty. He's always threatening bad stuff. Oh, I missed Queen f6. He has Queen g2 there. Alright. So, interesting stuff. Was this all book? Up until... I wonder. Yeah. It's all book. A d6 did badly. Rook e8 seems better. So rook e8 might be a little more accurate than his d6. See, Nefedov instantly played bishop takes c3, but I was wondering about bishop d4 check. Would there be any point in that? It turns out bishop d4 check is literally a little bit better. So we caught Nefedov unprepared. Alright. Guys, one last quick game. These are not quick games. I'm going to be late. I'm just going to play a Sporgasm. I'm just not going to use my whole 5 minutes. Alright, guys. I got to go. Testosterone. Sorry, dude. I got to go with the hour. That's my friend's chessable course. Jose Gonzalez Garcia did a chessable course on... I missed him. He was in Budapest this week. He did a chessable on the 4 knights with h3. Turkey Farm. My challenge disappeared. Oh no. It's a conspiracy. Bangtown, California made it. Good thing we played this last game. Oh no. Knight takes f7 check. Oh no. Testosterone. Sporgasm dropped a rook. Oh man, we got in the game against... Alright, but I only have 5 minutes. I gotta go. Chess, 10 minutes. Bangtown, California, 5 gift subs. The Sporgasm got a gift sub at least. Cool Mouse, Simplicity is Fun, and Pince. Boom with a thank you, Bangtown. Yeah, that D3 Caro-Kann line is very trendy, but I like it. Testosterone, what are you doing? Oh no. Please don't play the exchange variation. Oh my god, B5. Jesus Christ. What a move. How can that be good? Unreal. It's unreal. I refuse to play A3. That's not happening. I am not playing A3. I refuse to compromise. Why not take it? Well, I mean, I can take it, but I'm trading a flank pawn for a central pawn. Of course I can take it. But it's not like it's free. I mean, he's taking my pawn on E4. I'm not winning a pawn. I mean, it's a trade of pawns. It's one pawn for another pawn. So I don't know what to make of this. But I have to play fast because I have to leave in like 8 minutes. So I can't really play the full arsenal. Oh my god, he took the pawn. Wow. The full arsenal experience. The 30-minute 5-5 game. I can't afford to do that. I have to be somewhere in 7 minutes. A3 is lame though. Never play A3 to defend against B5. Okay, I mean, there are a few instances, I guess, where it's good, like in the Sicilian Najdorf. There are variations where A3 is played. I'm just saying in general, it's usually a passive reaction. So now I have a problem. We have problem with pawn takes D4. That's so bizarre. And we should be alright here. Very, very strange position. A3 is always very hyper masculine. Now, I mean, we can take. I don't have a problem with taking, but it does activate your bishop on F8. The thing is, I mean, Black's king is not like super safe. I have knight c3. First of all, my knight is hanging. Whoops. Alright, I almost forgot it was hanging. I mean, I intended to play knight d3, but since it wasn't hanging until this move, it's easy to forget it was hanging. Well, certainly an inventive opening by Chesteroni. Chesteroni. Chesteroni, are you from San Francisco? No. Turkey eggs. Why don't people eat turkey eggs? I guess they're more expensive. Nice try. Just that I know, you know. I know you know. That I know that you know that I know. That you know that I know. So now, my knight on d3 is trapped. Well, that's good. Unbelievable. I might have to play another knight b5. Knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, and my knight is trapped? Okay, that's annoying. Rook b8 is brilliant, bro. g4? g4, g6. What if I just let you take on c3? I'm not super happy about it, but it's probably the best thing to do. I'll have to just let my structure go. It's okay, you don't have any passed pawns. It's all cool. Your king is in the middle of the board on an open file. Half open file. You didn't take. Always take. You will take. Guys, I'm running out of time. Oh my god, my lesson's 3 minutes. We have to finish, come on. Galtham, I gotta go. Guys, we'll be back on Sunday with the usual massive... Oh, Grunfeld, gotta go, sorry. The massive Sunday simul. I could have taken on b7. I don't really see any particular benefit in that. Uh-huh. And another threat. And another one. Wow. The Rapportian Knight. Double squares. Liverpool has 2 good squares to go to. If they what? If they laid those daily, it might explain them being so aggressive. Well, I know eggs are in short supply, so I just thought like turkey ones could be like a good substitute. Develop. Don't like my pawn structure, but it's cool. King c8, avoiding the fork. Do you mind if I borrow your A pawn? Can you hear me, Arsenal fan? Occasionally throw in the David Lynch reference. So it turns out that Sparklehorse was a huge David Lynch fan. I did not know that. Interesting stuff. Knight A6, getting my own knight trapped. Knight C6. Or knight D5. You know, I like this. This is centralized. No. No, you know, David Lynch. I mean, so he recently passed away, as you know. But interestingly enough, he did some stuff with Sparklehorse, and I had never known that. All right. Check. He's gonna draw this. The dude is a genius. King C6 is brilliant. Stop being so brilliant. Man, testosterone is impressive. I gotta go, guys. I'm late. I guess conspiracy theorists are artists as well. In a way. I mean, lies are art too. Donald Trump. It's an art form. Lying is an art form. Of course it is. Damn it. Where's my attack? You're not going to draw this, are you? Oh my god. No! No! No. No. Your pawns are on the wrong color. Perfect farm. Oh no. Perfect farm. Perfect farm with G5. It's a nice move. Put all the pawns on the wrong color. That's not a pawn. Bro. Nice try. Please don't take my C pawn. Right? Oh no, he traded. Fixing my pawn structure. Turkey farm, you can't lose this. I'm late for a very important date. You fixed my pawns. Can white win? Besides on time? Oh no. Oh no. No. Yeah, another 6-hour game. That's brilliant. You gotta take. No? No, he doesn't gotta take. Oh my god, what? Really? You don't gotta take? Seriously? A5? Oof. Go with the solid move? That was a bad idea? Or not? Mm-hmm. Do you mind if I borrow your H pawn? You do. How about the E pawn? Poor turkey farm. Oh no, he lost. Alright guys. I have a feeling like you're okay, but you have to take on B4. I mean, come on. Seriously? How can you not take on B4? It's a draw. That's crazy. Why would you not take on B4? When you're afraid my bishop's going to get in and get your H pawn? True. Yeah, okay, so your only move was bishop c5. You're lucky you had that. I missed that. And then here, threatening to go here. You're just defending, barely. King e6. If bishop here, you can trap. How does this work? King f7, and you trap my bishop. Alright, anyway, good game. I'll see you later, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.